Hello, Papercut here, back with another replay review, and this is one of my favorite to do. This is someone on my coaching Discord who messaged me. He is brand new to the game, and he is brand new to RTS. I love hearing that. This AOE 4 is one of the first RTS games I really grinded competitively. So I feel that, and I love helping brand new players because I hope they stick with the game. It's really, really fun. We could always use more players. Um, Sorry for that. I'm still recovering from a cold. I realized it was probably really loud. um, but I notice you are bouncing around civs right now, so you're playing IUBID. So this is a perfect time to do it. You're just starting the game, mess around with other civs. So I'll give you some English-specific advice, but I'm also going to be making sure we're focusing on like general things you can take to any civ. Um, and we're probably going to focus a lot on your opening here. It's a 45-minute game. I don't plan on watching out 45 minutes. Usually the first 15 to 20 minutes really defines how the game's going to go. And really, most of your games early ELO will only be that long. So I'm not going to... We need to focus on our feudal into castle as the thing you want to improve on right now. And late castle and imperial can always be something you learn more later. But he is silver too, so this is exciting. We get to see a lot of silver players. So let's go. Queued up on the resources. That's good. Having a scouting pattern going. You obviously watch the build order online. That's good. Okay, first small thing. You just ran all the way over here, and now you're running all the way back. This is a waste of time with your scout. You can always get this little chunk later. You got your starting sheep. You ran over here. You have enough starting sheep that you're not worried about running out of sheep right now, in my opinion. So you should immediately duck down here and then try to circle back. So you've unlocked like a good third to a half of the map, drop off, and then get the rest of the map. You want to end up by your opponent when they hit feudal so you can see their opening moves. Scouting is very, very, very important in this game. So you got a couple more sheep, sure, but if your opponent's being more efficient with their scouting, they're getting more of the map right now, which means they're getting more of the sheep right now. Okay, so first, you've queued up way too many villagers to start with. I know you're probably doing this so you don't forget, but you don't want to accidentally be able to be aging up right now, and you can't queue too many. So I queue 2 at a time early in the game, and I'm watching because when you hit 200 gold, you want to queue up right when you hit... Oh, you deleted them. Perfect. Never mind. You're already a pro, man. What am I saying? On the scouting, though, you want to hit the corners while you can and check everything. You want to know where your opponent's resources are. You want to know if you can get any sheep. Because once you start fighting and going back and forth, you probably won't check this side much. So, for example, what are you missing right now? Well, not much, actually. You missed a sheep. You missed that there's a gold mine here. But sometimes you'll miss a lot of stuff. And that gold mine's huge. Okay, so you see your opponent's base. Don't get too close to TC. Nice. So what do we see? No. Do not be attacking villagers. It's a waste of time. And they might kill your sheep. But what you're seeing is he's doing a forward Aachen Chapel. His gold is forward as well. Forward means in front of the base. And this is easy for you to raid. Here's the key part of this. If you have archers right here, you shoot him off his gold. You shoot him off his berries. And he wants to make farms around this Aachen Chapel. He can't because if you have units right here, you stop him. So this is really tough for him. His gold and his food are forward. If you scout the rest of the map, you'll see he has a gold on the side here that he can run to, but he doesn't really have much other food besides all the way over here. So if you're going to attack, a key part of attacking is identifying where your opponent's resources are and cutting them off. So you see he's here, and you push him off that. You want to check, is he going to this deer and gold? Is he going to this gold? And cut those off as well. But this is a great starting position if you want to be aggressive against him. But don't stick here. Don't stick here. If you lose that scout, man. It had me worried. You're aging up with the council hall, so you're going to be aggressive. Once again, it looks like you watched the build order because your bill splits are looking good. But you could have more on wood to open. I'd do 6 on food and then add to wood till you have like 10, 11 on wood. Because if you're going to make archers, you need a lot of villagers on archers. So keys, you want to start adding, you want a barracks as well, so you can make spears, because any opponent will make, go send the villager forward. You don't need 5 on gold. That's oh, you're sending her back. I thought you were going to send her forward to make a tower. That's way too many on gold. So if you want to fight in feudal, you need resources that your units use. If you're going to make pure archers, that's food and wood. You need a lot of wood. You don't need a lot of gold. So you can leave 2 to 3 on gold, have more on wood, and you're using gold to get upgrades. Specifically, you want wheelbarrow, which you get from the mill, which wheelbarrow improves the speed of your villagers and their gather amounts, which is really, really good. And you're going to want double broadaxe to get more wood, because you need a lot of wood for archers and houses and other things. Generally, when you get more than 10 villagers on a resource, you want to get its economic upgrade. Or if you know you're going to need a lot of that resource. So wood for archers. And then you're going to want to make farms as English. So horticulture as well in the mill. We're being aggressive. You want to get your scout back up there. Your scout should be up there with your unit so you can see what's happening. Get your scout up there. Get your scout up there. So another important reason why you want your scout up there is because with vision, you can shoot farther than your longbows can see. So like if you have a scout here, they can actually shoot. And you want to get your longbows in here immediately. He's trying to build a tower right now. And if your longbows had been there to shoot, you would already be killing this village right now and stopping the tower, which is very, very important. If your scout was up here, you'd also see he's dropping barracks, which is important to know because that means that he's going to start making men-at-arms, which you're going to need to take care of. And one way you can do that is if you drop your own barracks, you can make men-at-arms that can tank while your longbows do damage. But already I'm seeing the issues with your resource allocation. You need you need way more wood, because wood is what you're going to need to make a blacksmith for your upgrades, a barracks to make men-at-arms, more longbows. See how you have a lot of food and gold that you can't use because, 1, you don't have any units that need gold, and 2, you need more wood than food for longbows. So you need to adjust your resources based on the thing you're making. You also forgot to make villagers. So how do you stop that? We need to constantly doing a cycle I call the macro cycle, where you are going, am I making villagers? Am I making units? How are my resources looking? And adjusting my resources based off my goal. If your goal is feudal pressure, you need to make sure you have enough resources to make units. So whenever you're not fighting, which is like, unless you have to absolutely watch a fight, you should be going back to your TC and adjusting resources. I suggest put your TC on a hotkey. You put your production on a hotkey. So I usually use 3, you can use 4. So that you can be up here with your army. And then if you need to rally more units, you click 3, right click, Q. But you need to be making units constantly. And your scout needs to be forward so you see what's happening. Now you're too late to stop the tower, which you could have stopped if you were here, if you just moved up when you first got here. Now watch. You're micring so much right now. Oh yeah. You killed some villagers, it's great. And that entire time, you weren't making units. You just queued up 5, which you could have been making this entire time. 2, you overqueued on villagers. You have 10. This food could be used for something else. Eco upgrades are huge. But you're not adjusting anything. You took a lot of time. Don't go... Why are we going stone? What's the goal of the stone? We're going second TC? Once again, we're over microing here. See what happened? And now he's just running you down. So one thing you might not know is HRE has what's called marching drills, which makes their infantry a lot faster. So once he realized he had enough infantry, he's just going to chase you down. But if all these longbows were up there with these longbows, you might win this. But since you never sent your longbows forward, and you didn't keep making longbows, you're not. So much of this game is consistently making units. Can you consistently make units until you decide, I no longer want to make units? Which is why this switch to stone is confusing. Are you going to go second TC? Like, I would rather all of these units be on wood. You're dropping a blacksmith, you're dropping another archery range and a barracks, and you're just going all in on units. And I think you'd beat this HRE player. HRE struggles against the longbow pressure you're trying to do. But you just gave up all these longbows for no reason. Good snipe on the scout. But you know what you really need? If you had arrow attack and doing 7 each time, that'd be huge. But he's just going to outrun you now. So much of this game is about, am I getting the correct resources what I'm wanting to do? Am I making units? Am I doing damage? And right now, what this has accomplished for him is that he just wasted so much of your time. You're off resources. You're capped, so you're not making units. And right now, he is free. I thought he was going to rush castle, but now he's making more units. And he's free to start setting up farms, to go on resources. He's going to set up trade. I don't know what it is about players at lower elo, but people love to trade at this elo. I do not get why. Trade is so easy to shut down if you know what's happening. And oh, now your resources are messed up. You're off food. Do you notice that you're off food? Okay, you fixed it. Okay, good. But now, like, what's the plan here? He has a tower. He's been making units. And look. You're not making units right now. So now you're doing this flank. Here's why this flank, like what you just did, is dangerous. Unless you have units coming and on the way to fight, these units are going to get caught in the back, and all he has to do is walk forward, and they don't have anything to fight. This sort of flank works really well when you have a main force here that is pushing forward, so that when he falls back, then your flanking force does damage. This is just asking to throw all your longbows away. But I'm just seeing a lot of, you're doing one thing, so you stop doing everything else. Multitasking is hard, but you gotta practice doing it right now. Also, in the future, please make a mill, get wheelbarrow. If you're gonna gather that stone, make a second TC. But I bet you just lose these longbows here. Yep. You know what he's doing? He's getting his upgrades. He got arrow attack, arrow defense, so he's doing much better against you. You didn't get those upgrades. But at least you saw he's trading. What do you do if you see someone trading? Well, what you can do is immediately send a group of units to the corner and just start killing traders. Is one thing you can do. But, so here's a downstream effect. Since you weren't heavy on wood early, you weren't adding farms. Since you weren't adding farms, you're now out of food. But really, you just have so many banked resources. This tells me you weren't using your resources. You didn't drop more production. You didn't keep making units. If you're not English, you would just go on the resources. You'd go on the food and things like that, because the hunt deer is really, really good. Boar is really, really good. English, you want to add farms because they're cheaper, and you just missed out on a chance to add these farms, which you should be doing now. No. Now we're adding farms, but you want to put the farms in the back where they're safer. Okay, we need to be making villagers out of both TCs. Okay. Always make farms with the amount of villagers going to be on the farms. Why more gold? You already have 2,000 gold. What do you need more gold for? So it's asking, what resources do I need? I need food and wood. I have enough gold. So don't send more to gold. I need units. Why aren't we making units? I need more production to make more units. So that's my advice. We're going to cut it here because at this point, it's going to be you guys kind of going back and forth. But what I'm seeing, I hope you're taking to heart the things I told you so far. 90s in castle. You could buy castle right now. If you had a market and just bought food with your gold, you could go castle. But all the things I just told you about, you should be working on for more improved gameplay. Let's talk through again. 1, make sure your scouting is more efficient, so you're covering as much of the map as possible. 2, make sure you're rallying units forward to keep the pressure, and you keep making units and you keep making villagers. 3, adjust your resources to match your plan. If your plan is fighting feudal, get the resources you need to make units, add more production, and get your upgrades. Notice when you're having too much of one resource and adjust your villagers, both rallying villagers and maybe move a couple. Your eco upgrades are super important, and getting your blacksmith upgrades earlier is super important as well. Because I think if you just sent units forward and kept sending, you would have just overwhelmed him. He cut him off on resources, and he wouldn't be able to get all these units. I hope that was helpful to you. If you're interested in a coaching session, please let me know. I'd love to coach you. If you have any questions, keep asking questions on my coaching Discord. I'd love to help you out. With that, good luck on your games.